Hello everyone, it's Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we will be tying a small little green, uh, um, it's a wet fly. I don't even know what, I don't really have a name for it yet. I'll see if I come up with one, but it's nothing fancy. It is a wet fly. It's just green, and it's nice and buggy, and just almost Cary like a Cary Special when it gets wet, but not. It undulates and moves a bit more and breathes a bit more because of the collar fibers that are in the front. So, and I absolutely love, like, this has got Mallard flank in it, and I love the wood duck color. I always have. I think wood duck is one of the most underused colors out there. It's so natural, and it's very underused in the fly fishing industry. There's some out there, but not a lot. So anytime I find anything wood duck, I grab it because I just love the color. Had lots of success with it, and like I said, it's just a very natural looking. So, but yeah. So like I said, just the wet fly. Let's get tying. Well, in the vise today we have a Hook-Ahrex FW 541. It is a curved nymph barbless in a size 8, size 8 and size 10. Okay, that's what we want to tie this in. For the tail, we're going to be using some Mallard flank in probably my favorite color, wood duck. I love this color, wood duck. It's such a natural occurring color. For the first set of hackle at the collar, it's going to be some India cockcake cape in olive. And then for the outer hackle, again, the Mallard flank. For the body, probably one of my favorite dubbings, and that's this Hare's Dubbing Plus. It's got, you can see it's got that little sparkle in it. Just absolutely love this stuff. And we're going to be using the darker olive here. Okay, and for the thread, we're going to be using some Semperfli Classic Waxed in an 8/0 olive as well. So I am just going to start my thread here and just go back a little bit back past the tip of the hook. By the way, if you subscribed, thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't, consider doing so. It really helps out the channel, helps me, keeps me motivated to create more content for you guys. So, and well, I mean, in the long run, it helps me out as well. So I'm just making a nice underbody there. Now I'm going to grab a really long fiber here, and I'm just going to pull out 6 or 8, maybe 10 fibers or so. Get rid of these bottom ones, they're kind of ugly. And just make sure the tips line up to a certain, as well as you can at least. Like that. And then I want that about the length of the body sticking past, so there. So I'll just come back again. And I want that. That's good. And then I'm just going to secure this down. Try to keep it up on top. Really not a huge deal if you don't. And then I'm just going to come back and just give it a cut off on an angle. And then come back again, just making sure this is all tied down nice. Okay. Here, I'm just going to take my wax. Just wax. I know it's wax thread, but having a little bit more wax on does help. And then I'm just going to grab my little pinch at a time of the Olive Hare's Plus here, and just put that on. You wanted a decent dub on here. I mean, it doesn't have to be uber tight, but you don't want it super loose either. So as I go, I just give it a bit of a turn every time. You see how that sparkle that's in there just comes out? Oh, I just love this stuff. It really is one of my favorite out there, period. So now I'm going to take, where did I put the, yeah, right there, the one feather, and I'm just going to go, I don't want it too crazy long, so I'm just going to strip this back and just double check how long that is. Still a little long for my taste, just going to come back just a little bit more, and that helps anyway because it gets me to the more subtle core, so it doesn't have as much chance to break. Doesn't mean it won't break, but less chance. Okay, now I'm going to grab my pliers de hackle. Hopefully I don't smack the camera because I'm using the front camera on my phone. I have to have it so much closer. So 3 or 4 turns here. More. Tie it in, and then just stroke all of that back. Go over top, just making sure. Then I will come and find that center quill. Sometimes it'll just get, there we go. Sometimes it'll come off, sometimes it won't. So just be careful. Don't pull too hard. You'll sometimes end up pulling it out, and that's not fun. Okay, so now I'm going to take my piece of mallard, and tie this in by the tip. I'm just getting it prepped here. Okay. I'm only going to get a couple of 2 turns probably out of this. That's all I want anyway. Just cut off that little excess there. Just make sure. Just give it a half hitch. Just 1 half hitch, just so you know you're not knocking the. Again, for me, I'm a bit of heavy-handed sometimes with fly tying, so with everything. So I just like being a bit more careful. Now, if you want this a little thinner, just strip down one side, right? And then you won't have as many of these fibers. 2. Oh, perfect. I think that'll be good. Let's just see. Might be a bit heavy. Dressed. We'll see once I'm done here. I might actually undo it. 2, 3, 4 turns. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, 1 over top. Turn that around. Cut that off. So this type of feather, these wet fly feathers, for those that you don't know, they stick together like this because of the oils in them, natural oils. So I'll do another set just to make sure, and I want a little bit of a head on this one anyway. Right, so what I'll do now, because it doesn't look the greatest, is I will brush this out a little bit, making sure my brush doesn't have leftover fluff on it from the last fly. And I'll just brush this out a bit, and you'll see that they will break up. And as they get wetter, they will break up. But it's just very typical of these types of fibers that they will have, they've got their natural oils in them, right? So I'm going to turn these lights down a bit just to there, so you guys can, not quite as bright, but that's it. Now this is a fairly heavily dressed one. Like I said, the fibers, and then there's a lighter dressed one, so it doesn't have as many of the mallard flank. Again, have both in your box. I probably prefer the slightly lighter, but Yeah, they're both good. They get really buggy when they're in the water. They'll get, let's see if I can wet this for you guys. They get really slick back and buggy, right? And that's getting pulled. It's a pulling fly, right? You want to strip this one. But yeah. Alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Really cool. I love these wet flies. They're probably, I got probably more of these style. The dabbler, cruncher, wet fly, snatchers, that kind of stuff. I probably have more of those in my fly boxes nowadays than anything else. Over chironomids and stuff. I'm not the. I do fish chironomids, but not like some guys do. I tend to stick towards the more active fishing flies, right? The stuff that you have to cast and strip, right? So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, give her a thumbs up and make comments on the YouTube channel, please. It just really helps the algorithm, helps me out, helps me, build the channel. So, alrighty.